Yesterday was a big day for music releases, with Future and Polo G dropping new projects. But the one that I was the most excited about was the brand new album from Yung Lean. His fourth studio album, Stars, was officially premiered yesterday, so I got right to work to give you a full initial review. I'm a huge Yung Lean fan. I've got 8 of his albums on my phone right now, and I've listened to his new album about 8 times straight through, so I think I have a pretty good feel for it. I'm Sean the Storm Grant. Hashtag Storm Pinball here on YouTube, as well as Instagram and Twitter. And this is my first reaction and review of Stars by Yung Lean. You can read the full script of this review on bruisedknuckles.weebly.com. I'll put a link to that in the description for you. With Stars, it feels like Yung Lean is experimenting less and succeeding more. There's a greater sense of purpose within these songs than in previous albums. And for that reason, they are more accessible and have a stronger initial impact. Yung Lean had a lot of fans coming into this album, but I suspect he's about to have a lot more. It's perfect music for self-isolation. The sound is melancholy and bittersweet, yet still feels comforting because Yung Lean is so adept at capturing the combined emotions of both the depression and beauty that come from living young, partying, with drugs and alcohol. It is both cathartic and makes the listener feel less alone, especially if they've gone through the tough times that hard drugs can bring you. The bulk of the beats on Stars mix light melodic crystalline synths on the top end of the audio spectrum with thundering bass synths and 808s on the bottom. Yung Lean's vocals have plenty of space to shine in the middle. It's a formula which works perfectly with every song on the album. There are some songs which stand out as being a bit more epic, while others are more delicate, but there aren't any songs that you'd want to skip. Yung Lean was inspired to make music after listening to American rap albums including 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying and Nas's Illmatic. That being said, this album can barely be categorized as a rap album because he spends most of the time singing rather than rapping. The hip-hop constructs still appear within the beats and the lyrics, but not in how they are performed. This album has more in common with Radiohead and Boards of Canada, which by the way are great music for quarantine as well, than they do with anything that the G Unit or anyone from Queensbridge has made. All of the songs on this album are produced by White Armor, who also produced everything on the previous mixtape, Poison Ivy. The sound is similar, only more polished and consistent. Here's a track-by-track listing of everything that's on Stars. Track 1, My Agenda. This song reaches a powerful epic crescendo in a unique way, since it features minimal percussion. The rhythm is mostly kept by synth bass, and there's a light beat drop during the climax, but there's no snare or hi-hat, so it's the polar opposite of the trap beats that we've been hearing lately. This is the kind of song that would be amazing live because you'll want to hear it as loud as humanly possible. This song is confident and efficient. The video that goes along with it is beautifully shot and is reminiscent of the work of another famous Swedish artist, Ingmar Bergman, and his movie The Seventh Seal. Track number 2, Yayo. The mood here is light and the hook is catchy, with the beat being more traditional. Yayo refers to cocaine, and he also mentions Miami, so there's a definite Scarface influence here. In fact, Yung Lean continues his tradition and referencing pop culture throughout this album. On this album, we have the songs Pikachu and Hellraiser, and he references Jack Nicholson and Rambo, among others. At 2 minutes and 38 seconds, this song doesn't feel too short, but it would have probably been longer had Playboi Carti not mysteriously removed his feature from this song. Track number 3, Boy Life in EU. The title here is a reference to Cody Chestnut's Boy Life in America. This is a standout song, and there's no rapping in it at all. It starts off melodic, and then there's an epic bass drop. The lyrics remind me of Touch Me, Feel Me from the Who's rock opera Tommy. Hey, I'm Storm Pinball. You know I love my Tommy. After the build-up, this beat bangs hard, bolstered by a powerful bass synth. The video is interesting visually, but doesn't really go anywhere. Track number 4, Violence. We go banger after banger with Violence, another standout song on this album. When I first heard it and watched the video, I wasn't overly impressed, but if you hear it with good headphones, instead of just a computer speaker, you get the full sense of how epic this song is. with its full bass and old school pipe organ. Young Lean gives a more traditional rap style to this, so it's more reminiscent of his earlier work. The people that find this album too commercial as a whole will probably still like this one. The video here isn't really that interesting. It's basically ruin porn with Young Lean sitting in an abandoned office building, and there's not that much going on. But the song itself is fantastic. Track number 5, Out of My Head. This song is a change of pace from the previous two. Lighter feel with all the lyrics being sung. It was a smart move to put this one after the two that preceded it. It works well as a palate cleanser, but it doesn't have too much to offer as a standalone song. Track number 6, Dance in the Dark. This is another one of my initial favorite songs. This is one of the songs that had me pushing my volume button up, even though it was already maxed out. Young Sherman comes back to co-produce on this one, and it's good to have him because he incorporates a little more variety in the sound of the beat, with a hint of guitar and some vocal samples. Track number 7 is Acid at 7-Eleven. This one's light and upbeat in its tone, but apparently was written about a traumatic experience that Young Lean had when he saw a man die at a 7-Eleven while he was high on acid. He's alluded to this in interviews, but I don't have a lot of concrete information here, so if you have more facts to share about this situation, please put them in the comments section. Track number 8 is Stars featuring Ariel Pink. Ariel Pink sings along with Young Lean on this one, but it's hard to tell who's who since they only sing together. This one is melodic and mostly sung, but it's a little bit too ethereal for me. Tracks number 9 and 12, Hellraiser and Iceheart. Hellraiser and Iceheart might be the most traditional rap songs on this album. Lean performs his lyrics with trap tempos and the beats follow suit. Track number 10 is Butterfly Paralyzed. This song has a good balance of beat and melody, which keeps it from being too sleepy. Track number 11, Dog Boy. Dog Boy is a melodic pop song with a catchy hook. Track number 13, Pikachu. Things get a little more interesting again here, with the semi 8-bit sound of Pikachu, and another one of my favorites which follows, which is track number 14, Low. Don't let the fact that Low is slotted later in this album to allow you to miss this one. The entire album is full of melodic songs, but this is the melody that stuck in my head the most. In this song, Young Lean references his mother, who's a hard-working diplomat, who he has a lot of respect for. Tracks number 15, Sunset Sunrise, and 16, Put Me in a Spell. Songs 15 and 16 bring this album to a chill close. I like Sunset Sunrise because it has enough bass to keep it from being overly sedate. Track 16, Put Me in a Spell, has a pleasant melody, which I wish they expanded upon a little bit more, because the climax is powerful and beautiful. It doesn't match the emotional impact of Agony, but the instrumentation is lush and full. Lean's songs are like audio impressionistic paintings, and it's a style that he's cultivated and sharpened. And now with Stars, he's mastered. If there's any drawback to this album, it's that White Armor sticks to the formula so tightly, especially in the second half of the album, that the album is uniformly good, but also doesn't have a lot of variety among the songs, especially in terms of its instrumentation. There aren't as many samples or different sounds to make one song drastically different from another. It would have benefited this album if there was another change of pace song, especially break things up within songs 8 through 12. He could have put an interlude or a skit in there too, just something to change the pace up. Also, since songs 8 through 12 are all between 2 and 2.5 minutes long, they all make a lighter impact and kind of run together, even though they're all well written. They're all unique songs, but they're all unique in the same way, if that makes any sense. Take some of his best songs on his earlier albums. For example, Agony. As soon as you hear that old piano, you know which song it is and how distinctive and beautiful it is. Go to Hoover and then Kyoto. They're all completely different and immediately recognizable. Now to prove my point, try this test out with Stars. Listen to any of the 16 songs at random. Pick a number out of a hat. No matter which one you pick, you'll like it. That's a strong compliment about the brilliance of this album and how they've honed the sound that they had been developing over time. But this album's strength is also its weakness, because if you now pick another 4 songs at random off of this album and then listen to them in a row, they begin to make less and less of an impact. and you're likely to like the fifth song a noticeable amount less than the first, no matter which one it is. That's my only criticism about this album. The songs should have been differentiated from each other a little bit more, either production-wise, stylistically, or through instrumentation. But if you're a fan of Yung Lean, this album is a true gift, because it's clear that he and White Armor made sure to spend time on each song to make sure they were properly done. There is some true, honest-to-goodness beauty in the refined finesse that these guys use to create their audio landscapes. It will definitely help people get through these tough times, and that is a true achievement in itself. For my final rating, I give this album a 91 out of 100, because it is truly what it seeks to be. And his fans, myself included, will be enthralled with this gift that he has given them. He created his own sound, cultivated a fan base for it, and then, with Stars, delivered a 16-song love letter to it. That's what makes this album so special. I also feel that as I spend more time with this album, I am able to differentiate the songs more, so that will soften my earlier criticism. Please like, subscribe, and be notified, especially since my next piece will be my pick for the top 25 Yung Lean songs. A number of songs from this album will be there. Tell me what you thought of this album. Was my review fair? What songs should I include in my top 25? I look forward to a spirited debate. Check out the rest of my channel for other great reviews and playlists. Until then, cheers and thank you for your time. Representing hard work and talent, this is #StormPinball signing out.